What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Slayin with Radio podcast. I am your host, Radioslay. If you're not familiar with this podcast, our episodes are very short. They're about 10 minutes long, and we cover everything, including life, sports, video games, pop culture, current events, you name it, we will cover it. Today's episode really affects pretty much everyone at some point of their lives. Um, and it really has to do with the fact of job requirements, interviewing, and have an opportunity at a specific career. Um, we've all applied, or many of us have applied for a job before. And when applying for a job, you want to make sure that you read through the job requirements, so as a candidate, you know exactly what you're getting into. Is this a job that fits my skill set? Is this something that might interest me? And something that I will potentially succeed at. And then within those job requirements, uh, it does show at the bottom typically what you need, what the criteria is for you to be eligible for that job. Maybe you need to have a high school diploma or a college degree, or you need to have so many years of experience to be eligible for that position, or certification you might need, etc. There's many jobs have that. Um, and I have an interesting take on this whole thing. So I've done my fair share of interviews, both being an interviewee and an interviewer. And I've seen a lot of behind the scenes on how these job requirements are put together. It's not only explaining the job again, but what are the criteria that you need to satisfy to be eligible to be considered for the position. And I'll be honest with you guys, a lot of it's just copy paste from other places. Many managers, whether they're hiring managers or who's going to be your direct manager if you get the job, um, they're just kind of grabbing at thin air, right? They're guesstimating. Maybe they're going off some past experiences. Maybe they're doing some search out on the web and doing this is close enough to the position we're hiring, so let's just copy paste this and change some of the words, and here's our job, a job requisition that we can post out there on all the various websites and such. Um, eh, my whole thing is that there's no right or wrong way, or defined way on it, finding the perfect candidate. Um, and I've experienced this with myself that I work in the IT field, and I had my degree in IT for a while. I want to say it was about seven, no, more than that, maybe 8 to 10 years. And I applied to positions within the IT field, and I kept getting turned down because they would come back and say, you don't have enough experience. You don't have enough experience. And I'm wondering, how do I get this experience that I can apply to get this job that I want? And, I grew up around computers. I felt comfortable with computers. Um, so I knew I could at least do some kind of entry jobs if somebody just gave me the opportunity, but I just couldn't find that opportunity. And fast forward a little bit, I did have my best friend was told me that there was a position opened up, and um, I just knocked it out of the park, I guess, with the interview, because they gave me an opportunity even without any experience, though I had a degree. And then I was off and running and still in the field today. So um, that's my whole point. There are individuals out there that may not necessarily have all the certifications and all the, you know, glamorous looking resumes and such, but they are some of the brightest individuals when it may come to that specific position. And again, I can speak from the IT field, but of course, there's other career fields out there. And my whole thing is, why don't we do things like a competency test? And some of the companies out there, some of the fields out there may do this. And I'm talking strictly from an IT perspective, because that's what I specialize in. Usually it's just you look at a resume, you sit down, you ask the same, 5 or 10 questions. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Tell us a little bit about yourself. Um, and that's it. So you talk for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then you have to make a really tough decision on is this the right candidate based on the same canned questions and answers you probably hear and a piece of paper that shows their history. Um, I figure why not put something in front of them that can really prove that they could do the job. Whether it's maybe a multiple choice test, maybe it's a demo on a computer and they have to navigate their way. Maybe if you're out like the construction field, the construction field that they have to guide the way or put something together or identify certain tools, whatever it is, that shows that they have the core competencies to be able to do the job correctly. And even if they don't have, maybe a college degree or they don't have a special certification or anything like that. And then it gives an individual a chance. And who knows? I mean, maybe they aren't really qualified for it and don't do a great job. But then again, maybe you just found your next superstar on your team. I feel like it's an equal way to really gauge on who you're actually spending a lot of money on because hiring people is not cheap. Okay, there's a lot of costs on the back end that a lot of us don't know about and don't see, but there are plenty of fees and such that need to be paid. Um, so I don't see why we see that more often in different fields as far as you know either having it as an option or a requirement. Hey, you either need these certifications, college degree and 5 years working in the field, or you need to score a 90% on this competency test, um, and have a balance that way. I wish I know some of the best and brightest and hardworking individuals personally, but some of them didn't finish college, or some of them just aren't great test takers, so they couldn't get that certification. But I know they could do the job. And but a lot of but unfortunately, when they submit the resume, it either goes through an automated thing or somebody's just looking for the checking off box and saying, "Oh, they don't have a college degree." Automatic rejection. It's like you didn't even give the guy or gal a chance. You didn't even get to talk to him, spend the even 15 minutes, 10-15 minutes just to get to know them a little bit, see what they have to offer. And I think that's a shame. I think it's a shame because not everybody has had the opportunities to go to college, and certifications and getting those and taking those tests do cost money. So, but if they happen to know the field and are competent enough to get the job done, let them show you. Let them show you through a test. Whether it's a written test or some other kind of hands-on test. So, I. I think companies really need to look more at this. I think we're missing out as a whole in our workforce. Some really great individuals that may not have the glamorous looking resumes, but they really, really are hard workers, are fast learners, they can do the job, potentially do the job well, and I think we really need to give those those individuals another look. So I really urge anybody that might be listening to this or watching this, if you were um, have some influence within your company, or you were one of the ones that um, interview people and hire people, think about it, bring up that suggestion. Could we potentially give this candidate who doesn't have the most qualifying resume an opportunity because they have some of those intangible qualities, or they might have some experience that's not like true work experience, but personal experience that can be applied to that job and potentially could do well. So I'm curious to know what your thoughts are. Do you like some of the ideas that I'm pitching? What are your ideas that you have you gone through those types of experiences? Are you trying to get put your foot in the door into a specific field, but just don't have the resume to back it up? So please leave a comment in the comment section, along with anything else that you want me to talk about. If I have somewhat a little bit of experience, a little bit of background, I'll be happy to cover it. Um, if you guys want to go follow me on the other socials, they're right up here, all at Radioslay. If you guys want to catch me live and talk to me about this, you certainly do so. I'm out on the Twitch platform, typically on Sundays 10 to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Wednesdays and Fridays from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Love to chat with you there. So if you could drop a follow, subscribe, like, comment on any of those platforms, and I'd really, really love to hear from you. But we are about out of time. So thank you again for all the continued support. Make sure you go out and do something nice for someone. Stay hydrated, and we will catch you next time on Slaying It with Radio.